comments. And good morning. How's everyone's weather going? We have snowpocalypse here up in Minnesota. It's southeast Minnesota. They say up to 8+ inches. We've only gotten probably a couple inches so far, but it seems like maybe it's coming down a little bit more right now. I'm looking up at my window. I have a basement man cave, so I'm looking up at the window to see. I don't want to pan my webcam because I feel like you guys are going to see my stack of Worthington games that I'm going to talk about, and that'll spoil it for everybody. But other than that, how is everyone doing? What we got? We got Paul. Good morning from Valley Forge. Good morning, Paul. Stuka Joe in the chat as usual. Stuka, great to see you here, buddy. Great to see you. Hey, is that Hexy? Gentleman? I don't know what gentleman you're talking to. Maybe that one over there, I guess. Gentle one man. What's the cat's name?
Toe. Funkiest name.
Toe?
This is my daughter's friend's cat. It's not welcome back
Daughter's friend's cat.
at her
Toe.
mom's house, and they're
Oh
on
my
Thanksgiving break. So we get the cat over Thanksgiving, Christmas, summer, and spring break. And then the spring break, my whole family goes to Disney except me, so I get the cat and Jordy all to myself. So nicest cat I have ever met. And she stays off my
I
game table too. Is that amazing?
okay. There you go. I'm a dog guy. I always have been. The but cat if your cat stays off the game table. So I see these pictures. People are like, "Oh, I gotta watch out for this game. This cat's invading and wrecking my game." I'm like, "Oh, that's why I don't want cat. I don't want a cat." I mean, one reason of several, but
She only got on one time, and it was the craziest thing. I let a big hiss out. She kind of figured out, oh, I'm not supposed to be there.
you
Um,
hissed
I
at
had
her.
I had Prelude to a Rebellion by Compass up, which has
Yep.
all these little cubes and tracks,
Oh
and
boy.
she was kind of laying right in the middle of it. And somehow she jumped off that thing and did not startle a single cube. It was amazing.
Wow.
I was like, wow. But nicest cat I've ever met. She's
Like you
going
get to
back.
live then. I'll
She's
allow
good.
it.
She's going back today. So,
Okay. Enjoy your time with her.
oh yeah, I told my daughter, hey, you go back. We'll just leave the cat.
Vince, how you doing? And Vince Evening. I believe he lives in Vince. Are you in Japan, right? Mike says Southeast Minnesota. Cool. I'm from St. Cloud. Yeah, I've lived all over, not all over, like Midwest, but Midwest, and then just about to the south. I had was born in Wisconsin near Milwaukee. Kind of grew up between there and Minnesota, so the Twin Cities for a while. Then me and my wife, we moved to Missouri. So I had lived in Missouri for 10 years. So really, I discovered wargaming before I moved to Missouri, but then when I was in Missouri, really got into it. Got a house with a big room, had my own room, dedicated, all that. So I started the channel. Lived near the Wilson's Creek battlefield there. Really got into American Civil War, all that. And then just 2 years ago or so, moved up to, or back to Minnesota, southeast Minnesota. So here in Winona, Minnesota, right on the Mississippi River. A little river town. Big cat. Oh, Christoph, of course. Great to see you. Vince, yeah, I thought so. So, how is everybody doing? I know I don't know. Pop that up there. I'm not very good producer on the show lately. I've just been, I don't know, all over the place here. But you know what? We are okay. So I know this week, or this show, I should say, we wanted to talk. Oh, what do we got here? Wayne, I have something serious to say to you. Go, Pack, go.
Okay,
Now
wait,
that I like. You
wait.
are awesome. Quail T Bird, you are my new favorite viewer. So I will say though,
Da
the
Bears.
yeah, not I mean Bears, obviously,
I'd wear
but
that, except I've already worn it this week. So
the uh the Walter Payton though, that's pretty badass.
yeah.
I got to give you that. So you know what I mean? That's
Oh
one of
yeah.
those like transcends sort of transcends the teams.
Well, I don't
So
like to get modern jerseys because everybody leaves.
oh, they leave, change teams. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
you gotta.
I
Yeah,
had that in Urlacher, and Urlacher retired a Bear. But I mean, so yeah. But I'm just kind of like, oh, I should get me a Caleb Williams. Like I'm not sure he'll be there. So
who even knows? Yeah, even if he's like, oh, he's doing really good right now. Yeah, who knows? In a couple years, whatever happened, next thing you know, he's quarterback for the Chargers or something.
mhm.
Nick, Well then, Nick, you're a good guy, Nick. I really like you. New favorite viewer. Sorry, everybody else. Nick is the new favorite viewer of the channel. So, the opposite of banning. I'm gonna give him an award here. Nothing I can do apparently to give him an award.
Now, the
But
next time we film, I'll have my trees up. And I think I told you I have one Packer because it's Jordy Nelson and he's in my
yep,
K State tree, but he's in his Packer gear.
I love it. Yeah, old. Well, and he got Jordy. Although you said so, Jordy is spelled though Jordy LaForge, right?
My
Or is it?
dog is named
Yeah.
after the Star Trek character, but spelled like Jordy Nelson because
Oh, it is spelled like okay. That's
Who
what it
wants
is. I
G E O
knew.
R D I E? Yeah,
Yeah, like huh, Jordy, like with a G, huh?
yeah.
No, it works. I swear.
Yeah, it was funny. My poor little dog when he's a pup, he broke both legs because Chihuahua bones are brittle when they're
Oh
little, and
yeah,
he
no,
was
yep.
going all crazy.
You jump off something or
Yeah, just jumped one time. He jumped and did a backflip trying to catch it, something jumping in the air, and but yeah. Anyway, the
little dogs.
so for and I mean the vet was amazing because I mean they told us go to Oklahoma State, go to K State, or go to this one vet because I mean K State's I think they're number one in the country in vet, but
Oh wow.
but he had Chihuahua legs. He had done like an erector set plate with screws on both legs, but he had to
Oh,
wrap them because they're slow to heal because they don't get a lot of blood flow. So
yep.
for something like 16 weeks, I had to take him in every week to get his stuff unwrapped. And one week the
Oh,
vet wrapped him in green and yellow because he thought I was a. And I told him when he gave that to me, he goes, "I got it," because he saw Jordy, he knew he's named after Jordy
yep.
Nelson. I said, I'm a second generation Bears fan.
Oh, well, I love it. I love it. Oh, that is so funny. So yeah, Packers. I know. We're losing viewers by the minute as we talk about sports. They're like, "Huh, Packers?" Half my audience is from Europe right now, so they're like, or at least overseas, and they're like, "Packers, Bears? What are you guys talking about? Football, American football, baby. We're addicted." If you're an American male, there's probably like a 50% chance that you love American football. Like I think
Yeah.
it's in the blood. But we like barbecues and American football. So Magnus, hello from Sweden. Magnus, listen, buddy, we got to talk. I've been waiting for your B-26 Marauder game now for like 8 years or something. I feel like since I basically got into wargaming. Pretty sure Magnus, that's you, and you need to get that game done. I know you post on
Oh,
forums about how you're getting it, working on it or whatever, but it's got to be done by now. Come on, wrap it up. Let's go. Let's get it shipped. We'll make sure it's right. Okay, make sure it's a good game before you ship it. But oh, that's too funny. So, how have you been? How have you been, Judd?
doing good.
Doing
So yeah.
good.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. What have? Well, I guess I don't want to. What games? So before we dive into Worthington, what have you been playing right now? What's on your table?
Well, I lost my big table over there. Christmas Town is set up and
Oh,
Cthulhu's
oh,
invading it, and it is so freaking cool. But I mean, because I got the giant Cthulhu statue from Cthulhu Death May Die, so I
yep.
was rushing to play some bigger games, and I was just playing lots of stuff. But the
Yeah.
last thing I had on was Terminator Rise, Genesis Rise of the Resistance. So
Okay.
I had it up and played a lot of small games over on this one. But yeah, that was the last big one I had set up. Oh, before that I played Nemo's War.
Okay. Oh, a
So
little Nemo's more. All right. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Um, nice. Very nice. I need to. Oh, now at this point, I don't know if I'd pick up a copy, but it was one of those ones I used to always look at getting, and then, well, as you know how it goes, as with every 100 other games, 1,000 other games, that like, oh, I should get that one. I should That one looks interesting. Oh, I heard some good things about it, and then you just find something else comes along, so you never
Oh,
actually get it played.
Nemo's one of the finest solo games ever. It is so. That's the only book game that ever made me want to go out and buy the fiction book base. Now I do it on war games all the time. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't want to know more about this battle, but a fiction book. I don't do a lot of fiction, so I
No.
went out and bought the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Nice. Nice. Christoph, I love sports. All sports. I like barbecues and hot dogs too. Christoph, you're an honorary American. Come visit. Come to the Midwest. We'll welcome you
Yes.
for sure. Magnus, sorry about the delay. It's all right, Magnus. I forgive you this time, but I want to see that game sooner or later. You need to actually get it published. Now, I know Legion War Games, and God bless them. I'm a big fan of Legion. I know they also take time to publish their games sometimes where it's like, is this game going to come out ever? I know, I understand that. Talk to Randy. I know he's busy and he's got life going on, but definitely want to see that game. Hopefully, sometime soon. Oh, what's this? I went to K State for grad school, and yes, they in Colorado State are the best for veterinary care. Huh.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Good old Nick. See, look, Nick's a good guy. I'm a Vikings fan, but I have nothing positive to say about them. So, you Viking fans, and like, hey, I mean, here's the deal. Rivalries are good. I have fun with it. Obviously, like I said, I live in Minnesota technically, and I work in Minnesota. Work for a county that's in Minnesota, and so I'm surrounded by a lot of Viking fans, and we give each other crap, but it's mostly positive with each other. But you Viking fans are the best. Every year, start off the season, we're gonna make it. This is our year. We're doing great. Packers suck, Bears suck, Lions suck. We're going all the way this year. This is the year we finally got everything put together. And then about either halfway or towards the end of the year, yeah, we're doomed. We're terrible. But next year we're gonna come back. And then I just love it. Love the attitude. It's like the most overly confident to start the season Viking fans I've ever seen. But then the most like down on their team by like at some point or another. There will be down on their team. Maybe when literally after Gary Anderson misses the kick. It's just like, okay, I knew it. I knew we'd lose. I knew we'd lose.
I wasn't even a Vikings fan. That one broke my heart because I so wanted to
Uh,
see the Vikings in Denver in that Super
there's,
Bowl. That would have been a great one. As soon as
you
Atlanta
know,
made it, you knew Denver was going to blow them out.
well, in
You got,
my favorite quarterback of all time will always be Brett Favre. That's my guy, Brett Favre. The gunslinger. And even when he went to the Vikings, I was like, okay, you know what? Go win one. Go do some. And he did in that first season. I mean, he was an MVP candidate. He was tossing touchdowns left and right. And that was even back. And it wasn't that long ago, but it was long enough ago that it wasn't quite the NFL it is now, where everyone just throws touchdowns. Even crappy quarterbacks can throw touchdowns nowadays. That was back a little bit harder. And he got, was it 36 touchdowns? They went to the MC Championship game. And the Saints, though, with the bounty gate and all that, they injured him, and then he threw across his body and threw the interception. Oh man. So anyway, but
that my wife has a relative who's born and raised in Crookston,
okay,
way up north up there.
yeah, way up
Vikings
north.
fan, and it's funny because he's kind of the man. Your Vikings are doing really good. Is like I know, but you just sense the sense of doom that they're going to blow
Yep,
up in the playoffs.
yep. Elway, damn you, Elway, says Hexy, Elway. So obviously, um, you know, my Packers. So we have 4 Super Bowl victories. So sorry, Viking fans, don't mean to rub it in. We should have 5, but freaking Elway and the Broncos, that'll helicopter Elway getting hit, spinning, going into the end zone for the. Oh, that just pisses me off. But anyway, all right, I'm done with that then. I'm done with it. Now enough talking about football. Now I'm mad. So let's talk about Worthington Publishing. Worthington Publishing, publisher spotlight for this show. Worthington has been around for years. They do many wonderful games and maybe a few not so wonderful games, as I think all publishers do at some point if you've released enough games. I know when I first got into the hobby myself, Worthington's games were the quality was okay, but there was definitely some ones they had released that were not good quality, or at least nothing special. But now they've gotten to the point where basically all their releases, they've doubled down on saying basically if a Worthington game is released, it is like high quality components, mounted maps. I think almost exclusively at this point, if not exclusively, the die cut, individually die cut, pre-rounded counters, just linen finish cards, poker size cards, just fantastic quality, component quality. Doesn't mean every game is still a hit, but it does mean that like at least you're getting that really high quality epic components, from what I see in basically every Worthington game. I'm probably a little biased. I do have a pretty good working relationship with Worthington. They send me a lot of review copies, things like that. Although you guys know, I'll repeat it again. I'm very honest. I'm always like, yep, this is what I think of a game. This is what I do like, didn't like. And I've said that many times with Worthington games as well. So trust me, there's plenty of games I've said, yeah, I don't know about this one, and I'm going to tell you why. But as for old Worthington, me and Judd had kind of a unofficial little talking points. We wanted to talk about our first Worthington game. So whether they were Worthington games or Worthington Publishing, as they are now, our worst. So first, worst. Oh, Judd, you're gonna like this one. I can't wait to talk about my worst here. Our best, so our favorite, right? Um, the ones maybe we want to play, we want to pick up, we're interested in, and then finally our latest or more recent or most recent pickup from Worthington. Judd, do you want me to start off, or do you want to
Sure,
start off?
sure, go
Okay,
ahead.
all right, I'll start off, and then we got Mark Herman in the chat. Morning all.
Woo!
I'm gonna watch while I row. Yeah, noteworthy. I'll get a little exercise in. I like it. I like it. Good. Keep the blood flowing. Keep the heart healthy. That's the way to do it. All right. So for very first Worthington game, and I don't own it anymore. In fact, two of these I don't own anymore. But let's see if you guys can even see this. We're gonna do. First Worthington game that I ever picked up was one that actually the component quality is not that bad. It's from 2013, and it is. See if you guys can even see it. You tell me if you can see it. Gettysburg 150.
Hey,
Hey, so
I
this
made
was
the
one
vassal
that.
module for that.
What's that?
I made the vassal module for that. I'll tell you what's funny. You bring a lot of those games up, I'll be like, I made the vassal module for that. I was
I
like
can
the
only imagine.
unofficial vassal module maker. They never sent me artwork or anything. I just did them on my own. Because
You wait till we get to the worst. You're gonna be like you're gonna either gonna be shook or you're gonna
the
quit
thing
the
was,
show on the spot.
with GMT, there's 100 guys that are willing to do a vassal module. There's
Yeah.
really good ones out there. The only one I ever did was Pericles for them. Um, but yeah, Worthington. Oh, I've made tons of their
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
With Gettysburg 150, the thing that I mean, like, well, there's a couple things I loved about it was photo quality was decent. The counters were big. Counters were really big. They are really big, I should say. Although I think it's been out of stock, like out of print, out of stock for forever. So good luck finding a copy. In fact, I think I got rid of my copy because I think I sold it to somebody for like a bunch of money. I was like, I like the game, but I don't like it that much. You know what I mean? Once it gets to like, hey, I can sell it for $100 or something, whatever it was. I don't remember how much it was exactly, but I'm like, okay, well, I don't like it that much. But it was, I think it was the first Worthington game I ever played. It was super simple, maybe a little too simple, probably for me now if I picked it up, but it was really great. So I was newer to wargaming, new to Worthington. Great introduction game, super simple rules. I actually got so into it, I wrote some terrible. I'm sure I haven't looked back at them because I don't want to like reread it. Wrote some terrible like solitaire rules for the game and uploaded them to Board Game Geek. Yeah, they're. I mean, it's basically like, that it's a type of solitaire rules that now when I see in a game, I probably make fun of. Basically, like, hey, you should go for this objective and then roll a die if you're not sure or something like that. Very like those aren't really solitaire rules. That's anyone can do that for any game. But I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, it's the type of game I'd get now or really be into or I gotta get or they really need to remake. Probably not. I think there's enough games that they've released that the way the hobby is and everything, they don't really need to re-release it at all. It doesn't need to be a new deluxe version. But Gettysburg 150 from Worthington, that was my first one, and it definitely set me up to really get into the publisher and keep looking at more of their games.
That's one of the like handful of games I'll never get rid of because my daughter got it for me for my birthday when she's little,
Oh,
and
and that's
they got
awesome.
me that, and then the Mercury Market Garden by Mike
Okay.
Granello with them. So I was like,
Yep.
yeah, those two are like never get rid of them. So
Yeah.
my
Oh,
baby's got
that's
those for
awesome.
me. Yeah.
Kind of wish I'd kept it, but really, I don't see myself playing it anymore. Like
Here's
it was the first one, but doesn't mean it's one I'm going to keep playing or anything. So I'm okay with not having it.
my first one was this one, Hold the Line.
Hold the line. Yep.
Yeah. At the time, I was back, what, 2010 maybe? I was just getting back into the whole gaming scene.
Yep.
And my dad had bought my sister a drum set. And so, the thing parents said, well, I bought for one, I got a. So they bought me a
Yep.
bunch of games because they had a really good game store over in Joplin.
Oh,
And
nice.
he knew I liked American Revolution. And so I was trying to think, which one did I play first? I was like, yeah, it was this because I had this and the Hearts and Minds when back in Worthington made that Fort Compass picked it up. So, but yeah, this was the first one. And back then, this is Worthington Games. They had a reputation for lower quality components. It wasn't desktop printing, but at the time, JMT was really like one of the few that was really doing the mounted maps and things like that. But if a game had cards, they were kind of thinner, paper maps, stuff like this. But this one really knocked it out. I mean, they got hard map. It's it's the tile pieces, like if you've seen Memoir, those kind of games, Command and Colors, but they're thick, really thick.
Hmm.
The counters, the counters were wide. It was cool because it showed like three guys in a morale number, and
Oh,
then you
yep.
flip it from four to three, and then you have to grab another counter for two and one. But anyways, they did a really dang good job with it. They did such a great job that when they reissued this thing a few years ago, and they put plastic pieces in, and I didn't get it because I'm like, normally I love plastic because of my Ameritrash background. I'm like, they got a they got a perfect game in here for me. I don't see any need to upgrade. All I wanted was more scenarios.
Yep.
But so yeah, this was my first one, and um, yeah, it's still one of my favorites because it's so cool. Because I love the American Revolution, and there's I don't know, it's 14 or so scenarios, and you get to play a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, I know you love that type of game with like a bunch of scenarios. Kind of like a base game that has all these scenarios you set up right for these little battles or tactical scenarios, whatever. Hold the line. So they have the new one they have coming is Hold the Line Hannibal. I want to get that one. So that I
Okay.
think that would be. I don't think I've owned a Hold the Line game. So I think that would be my first Hold the Line system game. But it's definitely a
You'll
system game.
recognize the system because Gettysburg 150 is based on it.
Oh, nice.
Roll
Okay,
for the action
perfect.
points and spend them.
Oh,
Yeah,
yep, yep. Well, then I'm
that's the whole line system.
looking forward to that one. So I've requested a copy. I'm like I want one of those. So
And see, back in those days, when I got in the thing, I was really in the American Revolution.
mhm.
So I was trying to find games that I dig, and I tried 1776, the Avalon Hill one, didn't do it for me. Um, Give Me Liberty, that was an old GDW, I think it was, and didn't really do it for me. And the first one that I really loved and I went nuts was We the People. And this was the second one. So for the longest time, those were my two go-to. We the People's the whole war.
Yeah,
This is the
yep,
battles. So I finally was like, yes, I've got something I can do each on. I found a
yeah.
few others that I like, but
I've I've been looking for a really good. We've talked about this before, actually. A really good like American Revolution game. I've had a couple that I enjoyed, but one of the ones when I did not put. I thought about putting it on the list. I did not. It's a Worthington game. Is Hidden Strike American
okay.
Revolution, and Steve Carey, who I respect as a designer, as a person. I chat with him. He's like, "What a disappointment! What a terrible game." I don't think it's as bad as he says, but it's definitely not a good game. Like it's not a great game. It's
Art
not
is
like a
hard to
horrible
win.
game. Yeah,
Art is
it's super
really,
hard.
really
So
hard.
I played that. I didn't log. I don't really log my plays on Board Game Geek, but I played it. I want to say 24 times, and I got two wins. And I didn't get my first win till like game 20. And then in the next four, I got a second win. So I was like, okay, I'm starting to see kind of how to get a win. I can't guarantee a win, but I can. I have a better idea how to do how to actually play it. It's very very difficult, very very random. It's like putting out fires, but not in like a fun feels like you're accomplishing anything way. It's like putting out fires knowing that the whole building's going up because if there's a building on fire and you're using a fire extinguisher, you ain't putting out the whole fire. Like this thing's gonna go up. You're just hoping that maybe you escape by the end. And that's how I got two wins out of 24 plays. So don't own my copy anymore. I got rid of it. I wouldn't mind maybe I don't know. I think it was Maurice Suckling who designed that one, and I like Maurice. He's done some good games, Chancellorsville, 1863. But yeah, some with that Hidden Strike, American Revolution. I'm like I liked it because I played it so much, but it's not really a good game, just to be honest.
This is another one they've made that's actually good. Freeman's
Oh yeah,
Farm.
yep, I've heard of it.
Yeah,
Have not played it. Yep.
Maurice Suckling. Have you played the Tarawa or Iwo Jima?
Yes. Yep. Yep. Is that
Very,
similar system?
it'll remind you.
Okay.
But one that really reminds me a lot of is W 1815, which I know you're probably gonna play because it's Napoleon.
Napoleon. Yeah, I haven't
Um,
played that. Heard of it. Haven't
but
played it.
it's I think it's a lot better than W 1815 because W 1815 you don't move. This has maneuver in it, and it has the skirmishers, which love that part.
Yep.
So, but yeah, it's got the leaders in it. They have power. So yeah, they did a nice job with it.
I don't think I have Tarawa anymore, but Iwo Jima.
Okay.
I don't know where my Tarawa went. I must have got rid of that one. I said this. I don't think I said it maybe while we were live. I think I may have picked it up or said it to Judd before the stream started. But I got rid of a whole bunch of my Worthington games. Not in a negative way, just when I was moving and smaller space here in the new man cave here, not in Missouri, no one in Minnesota, smaller houses up here. So a little more expensive. But anyway, So, all right, let's keep going here. So I got to be done, right? I have done. Oh my god, I only got 33 minutes left, fellas. We got to hurt. We got to hustle here. All
The
right,
Cylons are
worst,
coming.
worst, Judd. Here's the deal, and I'm not saying it's because it's not the person. The best part is the cover of this game. That I realized just before we started, the box cover upload to Board Game Geek is from is uploaded by Judd Vance. Galaxy Command. Whoop. Focus. It won't focus. Anyway, Galaxy Command from Worthington and from Robert Bartelli. I know that's your boy. No, it's your buddy.
That's my
Yep.
guy. I play Command and Colors Inc. He's one of my best friends. I've known him since I was 4 years old.
And that's why I'm like, listen, I don't want to start any feuds here, but that's my worst. That's the worst Worthington game I've ever played. So I got this game. I was super excited. Galaxy Command. In Galaxy Command, let me read this because it sounds in Galaxy Command 1 to 4 players. So solitaire can be solitaire. Take the role of a Galaxy Commander. Each tries to maintain a delicate balance of resources, military power, and technological achievements as they explore the galaxy. Gameplay is fast and fun, with varied decisions to be made by each player during their missions. And it keeps going on. It just sounded like, wow, what an epic game. And it's in a smaller size box, but components look kind of cool. Everything, the cards look cool. I was like, man, this looks like this can be a really fun game. I thought it was the most random game with no choices for me. And this is me playing it solitaire. Maybe it's better. And it re-implements Microspace Empire. For me playing it solitaire, it just did not hit. I felt like it was a lot of randomness. There isn't really choices to be made, and maybe a little fiddly. And I just was like, what is this? This is not a good experience for me. So for me, it's older now. Well, 2015. So not old, but older for Worthington. A lot of their games are newer that I enjoy. Just did not hit. It's got a 5.8 on Board Game Geek, which it's not the worst game of theirs, but 5.8 is not a good rating on Board Game Geek. It may seem like, well, that's an average. It's not for Board Game Geek. 5.8 is like a 3 on something else. So, unfortunately, did not hit for me. So, what do you say, Judd? What do you say about it?
I can tell you some background on that.
Lay into me.
Worthington had put out a call. They were trying to get into more Euro gaming because, hey, that's where the money's at.
Well, they're still trying to do that.
Yeah. And I wrote Rob and I said, hey, you ought to send him your game because yours is right up their alley. I said, doesn't hurt.
From Worthington. Yeah. Well, Pungo Games, but that's one of Worthington's labels. Yeah. They're trying to get into.
So, and we were both huge Worthington fans. I said, hey, you ought to drop him a line, send him Microspace Empires. And I said, doesn't hurt. And he did. And a few days later, he goes, oh my goodness, I just got off the phone with Grant Wiley. He goes, and then he had another like 3-way call with Grant, Mike, and Sean Cook, their artist. But what was kind of a bummer was they just ran and got it to publishing so fast. And Rob's always been a little annoyed by the rules because there's like a couple of grammar errors, and he's a perfectionist. They didn't run it by him. But what was a shame was his brother had made another variant. It was kind of a race for the galaxy type of thing where two players are racing. So. And it was a 2-player variant. And then him and one of his buddies back home had taken it and made it into a 4X game where you're actually fighting in the same universe you and me would play. Yeah. And basically you had a die represent the strength of your ship. And I was like, man, that was my favorite way to play it, was the 4X version. Yeah. But unfortunately, it's all under the file section because they ran so fast, before you could, they did all this, but boom, they were out the door.
Yep.
So, but anyways. Best way to play it, if you ever do play it, is play it with the original Microspace Empire cards. They're marked because some of the cards are just they don't do anything. It's like, wow, because originally they'd set up. But anyways, I have a lot of background on that, so I will never say anything bad about it. It's my buddy who made that. So
well, exactly. Yeah, no, you don't need to. I got it covered for both of us, but
they also made a book version of that. Like Space Commander or something. I played it on an airplane. So those book games are kind of fun to play on airplanes when you're a long flight. Now I end up playing First Jihad because it takes a long time. My wife's like, "You're playing the First Jihad on an airplane?" It's like, It's history.
Yeah, it's
Um,
not yelling it from the top of my lungs over the PA system, but
yeah.
David says morning the gang, and then hold fast system. So I thought about talking about that. I really enjoyed and even solitaire. Funny enough, the Russia one. So not I forget what it's called. The one that's the second one. So they released one that was like because they released it
Second
twice.
was Korea.
No. I mean they did
Oh, East. Yeah,
they did like
hold
East
front,
Front.
East front, or
You know what I'm
something.
saying? So
Yeah.
like they did two versions of it basically, and I like the newer one because it felt a lot to look through a little bit. But anyway,
See, I never got the second because when you play hold fast, it's a blast. Be trying the whole maneuvering because I mean the Russian Soviets are so underpowered, and they're trying to rush, but you got to rush before the mud kicks in. And it's
yeah,
always this crazy. Well, once the mud and the snow kicks in, then it just becomes a grinding attrition for the rest of the game. As Greg says, move close, roll high. And but the best part of that game is like the first six turns or whatever. And then when they did the whole Eastern Front, I'm like, I don't want to really do roll close, for the last 4 years of the war.
yeah. I was
But
gonna say
my
yeah. Hold fast Russia,
yeah
1941 to 42 was the first one in 2014. And then 3 years later, they did Hold Fast East Front, so the whole war, 41 to
yeah
45. That's the one I had. Oh, point 0.2 higher. So 7.8 to 7.6 on Board Game Geek. So the newer one is slightly listed as higher. I really
usually
liked it. I did have a
you
blast with it.
usually second editions do better. We talked about this in Ham Tag once because the people buying it already like it. The people who didn't like it aren't going to buy it.
Aren't even going to
So
look at it. Yeah,
it
good point. Good
because
point.
yeah. Anyways,
What's your worst, Judd?
my worst is hold fast North Africa.
Oh,
Now
interesting.
the first game came out, I loved it. It was so amazing how they did a game that I could teach you how to play in 5 minutes, and it really did a great job on Barbarossa.
Yep.
The Korea game came out. I loved it. I made the vassal module for both of them. And the thing about Korea, there's people like, oh, well, this game, you can break it. All you got to do is have the North Koreans move 2 hexes in. I go, if that's the kind of gamer you are, I don't want to play with you. At least
Yeah.
try to pretend like you want to do some history. If you're not, they could have house ruled the heck out of it. If you don't at least take this and this and this and this, you lose.
Yeah.
But I said, yeah, when I played North Korea, I rushed for I don't know if it's Busan or Pusan. I don't know, but
Eh.
the Busan perimeter down there.
Yep.
One time I actually got it, and you have to take like 4 points to get the auto win, and
Yeah.
I came one die roll away from getting that auto win.
Oh.
And as the Americans, I came, or not the United Nations,
Yep.
I came that close to getting the auto win up there. If you can get up to the Yalu River before the Chinese intervened, and I got that close. I was like 2 hex away. Next one I was in there, and I hit their die roll. But I played it, I don't know, 10, 12 times or so. And generally, it always happens, and then it just becomes this grinding attrition, just like the war was.
Just
So I
like
was
the
like,
war was,
and I
but
was like, and the nice thing is you don't have to play the whole war. You can play up to,
yeah.
like night, but you don't get the part where Ridgeway comes in, things like that. But and it's nice they put a cool book in there too. It's from the military, like the military history from the official archives. But they threw it in as an after bonus thank you because I don't think they could advertise something that wasn't theirs for a Kickstarter bonus. But because that's why they become Worthington Publishing. When they did New York 1776, they put a book in there, a company book, one of those. Oh, I forget. You see them in gift stores a lot at museums and stuff. Company that makes softback covers on
Yeah.
wars. Yeah, I forget that company's name. But he has one of their books, and since they were publishing books along with games, they changed their name. That's what that was all about. But
Okay.
yeah, so I love that. And then this third one came out, and I was so excited. And if I really thought through it, you could realize North Africa is not going to work. The map's too small. You can't do the sweepy maneuvers. It's
Yeah.
just move close, roll high, and if you're the British, just keep hitting those Italian units because they don't have enough supply to rebuild them,
Yeah.
and you'll just overwhelm them eventually. And I was like, I played it with my friend Aaron, and that one play, and I was like, this game stinks. It was like
Oh.
this is not Rommel in the desert simplified. This is I said just stick with Rommel. It's a better game. But I did like the hard mounted map. That's the first time they put one in there, and their Malta rules were pretty cool.
Okay.
But the game itself just dog. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was done with Hold Fast at that point. I heard Tunisia was decent, but I was just kind of done with it by then.
Yeah.
So
And then I think did they do a Dunkirk one also? Maybe even.
The Dunkirk game
Um,
is pretty cool, but it
is it?
wasn't a hold fast.
It wasn't hold fast.
The
Oh,
only
okay.
bummer about this is for guys like you and me, there's a hidden objective that the Germans pick.
Oh,
Are they going for Paris? Are they going for Dunkirk? You know, it's like I think
yep.
there's three objectives or something. So it keeps the other side guessing. They're like the Allies. I don't know what they're doing. And then you have blocks, which I can work with blocks, but still. And then there was like I think there's cards. So there's three mechanisms with a lot of hidden information, especially that hidden objective. And I was like,
Yeah.
fun game, didn't solo.
Well, the I know, and this is going off on a tangent, but the 1944 games from Worthington, Battle of the 1944 Battle of the Bulge, 1944 D-Day to the Rhine, Hex Encounter. Basically, though, it uses like a very similar system to with the it's like basically almost like it should be a block game, but they converted it to counters. Anyway, there's hidden objectives, but you need to use them. It's a really simple hex and counter war game, and you don't even need to use the hidden objectives, or you can just do like reveal it, the randomize it instead of picking one secret, just randomize, pick one, reveal it at some point, and then okay, hey, surprise, that's what we're going for. It's fine as long as you're able to like wrap your mind around that and get away from that, not worrying about it. You can solo everything else totally fine. Just ignore the fact that there's supposed to be a secret objective, which makes sense. Like for the bulge, I think because it's what are the Germans actually going for, right? Like
Yeah.
going for them crossing the Meuse, or is there another objective? Anyway, but
Bulge 20 by Victory Point Games has a hidden objective, and the cool part is if the Allies overcommit, they lose.
okay,
So you're trying to figure out, you're trying to get to that, deduct that, and then put the proper amount of force to stop it. I was wondering
yeah,
if that's where he got the idea. It's a great game, but hidden objective won't solo.
nah,
So I've only
not
got to
not
play
so
it a
much.
couple times, only at BGG cons.
All right, we've talked about our worst. Well, we did our first and our worst. Now let's go positive. Talk about our best, our favorite, the best Worthington game that we've played or one we love for whatever reason. Even if it's not objectively, subjectively the best, doesn't matter. We love it. I'll go first, and this should be no surprise to anyone who's watched my channel or watch any of my videos. In magnificent style, Pick Its Charge Deluxe Edition. Now, yes, technically this was originally a Victory Point game release. I don't care. Victory Point Games doesn't exist. This edition is also probably 10,000 times nicer than that one. That one is kind of cool and a little puzzle map thing, but that's a cool in the sense of like sometimes it's cool to have cheap things that somehow work. This is actually like legit quality, component quality, but the gameplay. So, Herman Lutman, evil genius himself, takes he took a Eurogamer, right, a Euro mechanic, push your luck, a completely Euro game style of that's their idea of fun is like push your luck. That's their idea of riskiness is like push your luck in a game. They don't like direct competition. They just want to push their luck, and that's the exhilaration they get. But he took that and he put it in a game, a war game that simulates something, part of history, and it really works well, and it really makes sense. It's not just yeah, he threw this, Euro mechanic in there and whatever, just for funsies or just to sell more copies. No, it literally combines a great Euro mechanic, and it is. I mean, let's be honest, pushing your luck is that's what people do. That's what we do. Why when you gamble, you go and you win. Ooh, wait, should I bet? Should I double down, or should I bet a little bit more, or should I pull? Should I stop now and take what I got and leave? But I feel like I'm up, but maybe I can get more. That's what you're doing, and that's what. And a lot of times that's what war is, right? Is hey, we had a victory. Hey, I pushed so far. So obviously, magnificent style, right? You're moving your regiments up. You're trying to get to that Union line there. Good luck. And you're saying, okay, do I settle in and say, okay, I've secured my spot, but I only have a limited amount of time to advance across the whole area and get to those Union lines, or you keep pushing, knowing that if you roll poor and things don't go your way, you may fall back all the way to your starting line or wherever you were before. So just a really fun game. It plays fast. You can get through a whole game. I don't know, 45 minutes. I mean, which that type of game, I don't
Really?
want it to be a
That
three
takes
hour.
me a lot longer to play that
What's
one.
that?
That takes me a
Oh,
lot longer to play it.
oh
Probably at
no,
least
you
a
just
couple
gotta the
hours.
victory within an hour. And normally I'd be like, well, here's the deal. I've also played it a million times, so maybe that's part of it. But I think if you just buckle down and just roll and just flip, especially the new edition, you're flipping these cards and rolling. I mean, you can fly through it. 45 minutes. call it. They says victory within an hour. Call it an hour if you want, which I think is perfect. This is not a 3 hour game, or it shouldn't be. Judd, you're overanalyzing your choices if it takes you longer than an hour to play. You just gotta bulk it down and go. Because the nice thing is of a game like this length too is you just fly through it and win, lose, draw, probably lose. You just restart it and play again. And you can play it twice in a row, 3 times maybe, and you got the same gaming experience as a hex and counter game that took you 5 hours to play. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So fast setup, fast play, looks great on the table. Love these counters. Love those. Look at those cool counters
Yeah.
there. Look at those things.
I
Oh,
love
it's
the
so good.
card.
And
The
this game's
cards
on
are so much better than the chits too.
cards are better. Yeah, the cards
All the
like
info's
this
right there.
edition is the edition to get. So this is easily my favorite. I recommend it for everybody for basically every reason. You want a first war game to get into wargaming, especially if you played other types of war games. How about this? You want something American Civil War that you've never played before. How about this? You know what I mean? Like I could throw this as a recommendation for pretty much everybody, unless you're like, I hate American Civil War. Oh, you sure though? Maybe this one will hook you up. Go ahead and get it anyway. No, this is my favorite of all time, easily. So,
So
Judd, what's yours?
something else on that.
Yeah.
I've read about pick at the chart. But some of the stuff didn't always stick with every
Mm-hmm.
detail. But when I played that game, remember the angle and how you
Yeah.
take extra damage when you're right there.
Yep.
Well, that really stuck with me. So
Yeah.
my daughter and I were out at Gettysburg. I don't know,
Oh, that's right.
2018 or so.
I think you
And
talked about this before. Yeah. No. Go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're driving up that side, and we'd been checking out. They got a really cool monument. You can go walk up to like a second story and see cool. It's when it was on the Confederate side, I said, "How'd you like to walk across there with all those guns pointing at you?" Put it
Well.
in context. But
Yeah.
when he
No
hit it,
thanks.
we was getting ready to head out, go to see the cemetery, and all of a sudden I see a sign that said the angle, and I'm like, "Arr! Wait a minute, the angle!" So it's like,
Gotta
what's
go
that?
look.
So I pulled over, then I showed her what the angle was and how they did it, and I was like, so hadn't been for Herman Lutman, I probably would have missed that.
Yep.
So
I love it.
my favorite one, probably not a lot of surprise if you know me real well, Band of Brothers.
Ah. Okay.
This is the second edition. They've made 3 editions. The
Okay.
for I had the first edition when it came out 2011, and that game, it was so amazing, kind of like Holdfast, the way they
Yep.
did a 5-minute game that really covered so much of the um,
Yeah.
Barbarossa. This game, I mean, it had like 5 pages of rules, and you're off playing infantry scenarios, and it did it so realistically. Because when you play tactical games, they're fun,
Yep.
but there's always those things in there that go, it kind of breaks it's game,
Yeah.
and there's no perfect simulations. You can't simulate
No.
all that possible stuff,
No.
but it's just kind of silly stuff that said, this is a bridge too far for me for believability. Why can't
Yeah.
I fire? I don't have a fire card. Now I like that game, but
Yeah.
to me, the way I find it is it's a game. Have fun with it. Embrace
Warfighter,
the chaos.
Warfighter from DBG.
Yeah.
Very like
Um,
it's like an action movie. It's not. There's no like. It's an action movie with whatever theme happens to be on those cards, that game, base game or expansions. But there's no like real simulation aspect to
yeah.
it. It's just rolling dice, moving your card, and like that, moving your little chit. Like that's
hmm
it. And it's
Yeah. I
fun.
mean,
But
conflict of heroes. This unit spent. Hey, let's go bum rush him. He can't do anything.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, you're not going to go bum rush somebody out there, machine gun.
No, like that's
Hey, he's already fired this turn. He can't fire again.
you can't fire that. It's
And
like, oh, is that how it works in war? I don't think
yeah.
so.
And the famous skulking of ASL, where, you're up there right up against the wall or so, shooting out at the other guys through the windows. Then when they get
Yep.
ready to fire, you pull back,
Oh
and then
God.
you get a run back forward and you pull back, and it's like, and ASL is great for all the detail, but I've always said, man, that part's silly. Um, but when they hit this, I couldn't find anything in there that, wow. I mean, I was teaching this guy to play, and he goes, what should I do? I go, well, let's assume that you're in this battle and you're not, sucking your thumb on the ground, curled up, calling for
Yeah.
mommy. I said, what would you do? He goes, well, I'd probably try to flank you over here and spot this guy and do this. I go, okay, well, here's how you do this,
Yep.
and it's like, that's how it is. And, but yeah, simple, very simple game. There's almost everything you need's on the counter. You're not looking up tables. There's
Yep.
one card that has the modifiers for if you're in open ground or if you're in a building, what those modifiers are, you memorize those pretty fast. But it's all there, and it's back and forth. Spent units can fire. I
Nice.
mean, there's a certain amount of, I don't know if this guy's going to fire. He's suppressed, but he actually might find the will to jump up and shoot,
Yep.
and it keeps both sides kind of guessing. But it did so great with that. And Screaming Eagles is always my favorite. I always bug Jim Crone that he needs to make the 82nd Airborne because I'm partial to them. But but yeah, this was great. Then he did the Ghost Panzer. Then he
Hmm.
did the Marine one. He's done. But and my copy is signed.
Oh, look at that.
This was pretty cool. What my
Look at
company used
that.
to send me up to Cortland, New York every year. And if you're ever up there, Syracuse has one of the best barbecue places the best
Ooh,
I've ever been
ooh.
to. Better than
Speaking my
Kansas
language.
City. Yeah,
What?
it's called
Okay.
Dinosaur Barbecue, and it's out of this world.
All right.
But anyways, but yeah, Jim was up in Rochester, so and I got to go up and play. I got to go to his house and play. We played Hold Fast and we played Talon. He taught me Talon.
Nice.
So
Very cool.
yeah, and
Band
so
of
but
Brothers,
anyways,
huh?
yeah, Band of Brothers, and it's I've it was so good that I got rid of all of my other tactical games. I was like,
Yep.
they're not doing it for me. Eventually, over time, I got a couple. I got Combat Commander. I embrace the zaniness of it. Just embrace the chaos. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
like, it's like up front. It just embrace the chaos and enjoy it for the game it is.
Yeah.
But and I think I got another the Heroes of North Africa. Heroes of North Africa. The Lock and Load
Oh,
series. Yeah,
lock and load tacticals. Yeah.
yeah. I wanted something a little closer to ASL for detail,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah. So
I played that on and off like a couple times. I just can't. It's too much. It's like you have to
yeah,
like. That's like a kind of
way
like
of
a
life.
lifestyle game,
Yeah.
right? You gotta really keep playing it. You gotta keep, and it's like that's for me in my position, just me as a gamer, but then with my YouTube channel and all that, just the way I don't like. I have to. I need things that I can just digest in chunks and enjoy. Not yeah, I have to play it every once a month, or else I just forget how to play this game. Well, then I'm not gonna like. I don't want to do
Yep.
that. Like that doesn't sound like fun. But
This was 2016. And this was when Worthington really picked up the component quality. I mean, they
nice.
done stuff like the mounted board and Hold Fast North Africa,
Yep.
but when this thing came out, I mean, they went with the thick boxes instead of
Yep.
the sleeve covers. The counters were rounded. I mean,
Oh,
just
I
everything
love
was
it.
there. And you
Yeah,
looked at
I
this
love.
like, man, this thing could be GMT. That's how good it was. It's like, and then that's when Worthington picked up their game. Is like that's when they really picked it up.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
it took them like a year and over a year on the Kickstarter, a year and a half or something. It's because they were dealing with China, and it's like it always cracks me up when those guys were going to China. It's like, yeah, we think we'll have this thing delivered in 6 weeks. I'm like, dude, my company, it was a Fortune 50 company. We had boatloads of capacitors coming in. I'm
Yeah.
sure your 200 games aren't going to get ahead of this, and it takes us 9 weeks to get
Yeah.
across the ocean.
Yeah.
Does Band of
Um.
Brothers play solo? It has
Yeah.
solo rules, decent. I mean, it's pretty decent. Once you, I'm not gonna go through how to do it, but yeah,
Yeah.
I play it solo all the time.
Okay.
So
Well, so and I mean, absolutely. I'm so Band of Brothers. I've never played the system at all. I'm trying to think if I had like a starter kit thing, but I think that was actually Lock and Load Tactical. They had like
yeah,
they have
they
like a
don't have
starter
starter
kit you
kits
can
for
pick up.
this.
Yeah, so I played that. But so the next topic we were going to cover quick was, and I'll have about 10 minutes left, so we can cover for a little bit. Want to play? Dun dun dun. Funny enough. Ugh. Aha! So Worthington sent me this. It's been sitting on my shelf for a while. It's so I did take the shrink off, just kind of look at everything. Look, it's like doesn't even close because, and it's not nothing's unpunched. Everything's in the on the sprue or whatever in the counter sheet, but it is like epic component quality. So yeah, Band of Brothers, and I also they also sent me what's the other one? Old Breed, South Pacific. But you, Judd, said in like the comments in another video about how like there's a lot of specialty rules for that one, and I looked up online like, oh, there's like facing rules, and I'm just like, you know what? I'd rather go for the more simpler version. And I don't have Screaming Eagles. Like I wouldn't mind getting that one. I wouldn't mind getting that. That'd be more my favorite, obviously as an American and whatnot. But I definitely am looking forward to maybe wanting to play. So this is a Worthington one that I got here, and I really want to play. So I do want to get in that Band of Brothers system. And yes, I'll be soloing it or trying it solo. So we'll see how that goes. But Yeah.
If you're curious how that fits together, Ghost Panzer is basically the Eastern Front from Barbarossa to about Kursk, and that's Kursk to the end of the war. So you do
Okay.
have different, you have some different like tanks and things like that, but the rules are
Yeah.
the same.
Okay. Hmm. All right. Let's see.
The
Want to
one I
play
want
or
to
late? What
play,
about you, Judd? Anything you want to play you haven't played yet, or?
I've played everything I have by him.
Oh, what
Um,
a stud! Judd is such a stud. He's a gamer. Judd's a
well,
gamer.
I guess if you're saying, well, it's one I love to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love always to play. It's just hard to get in games because not solo great. Caesar's Gallic War.
Ooh. So was it? I think he was gonna do a second edition. Another.
Yep. I think it died with Worthington, and he's
Yeah.
shopping it around, which I
Oh,
don't know why
okay.
Worthington should do it, but
I thought he said he was gonna even do like a solo mode with it or something. I thought I
yeah,
saw him talking about that, but
I have his
um,
second edition playtest kit. I helped him
nice.
playtest. It's cool because he has like objectives cards in there, stuff like that, and Daniel Berger, if you know him, he did Hands in the Sea, so I know the guy really well because
Oh,
I made the playtest Vassal module. We played that game like 20 times or something against.
yeah.
He clobbered me almost every
We
time.
used to talk about that one a lot on Hamtag.
Yeah.
I feel like.
That's his autograph says. It's been a pleasure kicking your butt because he kicked it all the time. We played this, he kicked my butt.
Like,
But
listen, he designed it. That's not fair.
yeah, so
uh,
the but yeah, the cool thing about that one is block games, they face me, they face you. If the tribes are neutral, they're face down, and then when they pop up, they always pop up full strength.
okay.
And
Hmm.
it's really and it's almost card driven, where not like Columbia games where I
Sure.
can do one of two things. This is you can do like one of four things with your cards.
Hmm.
So there's a little bit of card driven aspect to it, recruiting tribes, trying to do political moves on tribes, attacking,
Yeah.
moving, raiding. So when Vercingetorix, if I said it right, gets in there, you can start doing raids on
Sound good to
Roman
me. Yeah, I think
supplies.
it sounds about spot on.
Vercingetorix, I don't
Yeah,
know.
whatever.
He hasn't told me how to say his name yet, but
I was just
anyways.
gonna say that. Yeah, we can't ask him. We can't
Yeah.
ask him, unfortunately. But
But yeah, it's a fun game, and I like what he did in the second edition. But anyways, it's always a game. This was actually the game that inspired me to make Vassal modules
oh, nice.
because I thought it's a block game. It's not going to solo. I wish I could solo this. And then Worthington had it on a Black Friday sale for $20, and I played it with Air, and I thought this is so fun. I've got to figure out how to do this.
Yep.
So that was the game that launched it.
Very cool. Very cool. Finally, last thing we'll cover here, at least for Worthington, is latest or most recent game. So this is one for me, I've talked about on my channel now a bunch, so I'm not going to go on and on about it. But part of their travel series, 1862 War in Virginia. Um, Recent release, fantastic component quality, but in a tiny little box. But so basically, took the idea of one that I really enjoyed, Pacific War, 1942 Solitaire. But then instead of having just basically dice space for all the activations, you get to actually have these nice linen finished cards. Just a really high quality. Again, well, it's Worthington at this point, like you said, Judd. Like every one of their games nowadays is high quality. I mean, even this little tiny box is like super thick, sturdy box. Great game, super fun, super quick to play. States of Siege solo style game, so it plays really well. If you like the theme, and this one, like for my playthrough video on this, popularity through the roof. I never know what's gonna hit. Like I'll make videos on games. I'm like, this is gonna be awesome, and it gets 400, 500 views. And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, I wish it'd been a little bit more. And then I do a video on this, and not that I didn't think it would be popular, but I'm like, okay, it'll be decent. It's got like 2,000 views. I'm like, holy crap. So anyway, 1862 War in Virginia is definitely one that is like the latest, most recent one. And then, yeah, that's basically it for most recent. I know, like I said, I've got a couple that I'm looking forward to. Hold the Line Hannibal is one. Obviously, I want to take the Roman side because, kind of a Roma Boo guy. I really love Roman Empire, Roman Republic style games. I like to play as them. I like to play as the mighty Rome and crush rebellions and crush my opponents. So on that one, I'll definitely be taking the Roman side. So Judd, you can take Hannibal and Carthage. That's on you. But
Okay.
Judd, what do you got? Anything for you, latest or most
Let's be
recent?
sure to play the Kanai. Let's start with the Kanai scenario.
Yeah. Hey, here's the deal with the Rome, though. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Oh, we lost 50,000 men. Okay, whatever. We'll just play dead for a little bit, and then we'll come back and keep coming.
There you go. I actually got two in the same package.
Okay.
It's Operation Dragoon.
Ooh. Okay. Yep. Yep. And that's part of that travel series. Yep.
Yeah. And this is the guy, Dan Forney, I believe his name.
Oh,
He's the guy who did the Bulge. Yeah.
did the yeah, the 1944
And
games.
this is cool because you got, you're trying to get your landings in, but at the same time, you're trying to cut off this line of Germans from breaking through. They were trying to break through and escape out of that area. So you're trying to cut them off at the same time. So you got multiple choices. Time for Heroes. I have not,
Gettysburg.
but I've heard it's good.
Yeah. Same here.
And the other one was this one by Dan Forney.
I thought they sent that
Oh,
to
sorry.
me. Go.
There we go.
What do you got? Oh,
Drop
what's that?
Zone.
Oh, Drop Zone Southern France. Oh, I heard of that
Because
one.
hey,
Yep.
this is about all you need to sell me on it. Paratroopers.
See the you're like, yeah, I
Yeah,
want that.
not 82nd Airborne, but it's got paratroopers in it. So, anyways, it's on the same topic,
Oh,
Operation
for sure.
Dragoon. So
Yep.
this is like a little piece of the other game, which is funny because the other game's a mini game, but it's got a lot of fun, cool ideas in it. So I
Okay.
really enjoyed it and plays fast. It's simple rules.
Yep.
Worthington.
Yep.
Custom dice. I always like the custom dice because it's like having your own built-in combat results table without
Yeah.
having to look it up.
They can be fun. It can be fun. Like sometimes it's like you feel like you're getting used to a whole new system, but once you're used to it, it's super. It's fun to be able to roll and see. Right, like that's the downside of like CRTs is that you roll. I mean, yes, okay. A lot of times you do kind of know what's going to happen or have a general idea based on how well if you roll that bad or that good. But sometimes you roll and you're like, I don't know what that number is going to be on the CRT with modifiers. So like you don't know what the actual result's going to be. It's like unless you figure it out ahead of time, which that's its own type of thing. Then you're figuring it out ahead of time. So then you're like, well, gee, I got a 6. What does that mean? Let me see what these modifiers. Okay, let me check the chart. Ooh, defender retreat. Yay. You know what I mean? That's like it's a little bit of like a anticlimactic kind of versus those
Mhm.
dice. Sometimes it's just like, boom, I got 2 hits. You know, or
Yep.
they defended one of my hits, but I still got a hit on them, which I know, boom, that's all I needed was to get one hit on them, perfect. Um, yeah, it can be nice, but in my bonus, Judd, I didn't tell you to pick one. I was gonna say bonus. I think underrated, most underrated. I didn't even mention this to you because I want to show this off because I love it so much now. I've just become addicted to Boots on the Ground, the deluxe edition.
Man, I did not like. I had the
You didn't
original.
like
I
the
did not.
original.
It was random.
It's different. The new ones, the deluxe edition's different.
I also didn't like that you could basically waltz right up to them and shoot them, and they can't activate.
Well, okay, so
No
yeah, it
opportunity
doesn't
fire. That
have
was.
op fire, but you just have to imagine that it's like well, it's urban warfare. So instead of the whole like idea of with this game, I was reading and I did cover it. I can't remember the name of it. Basically, it's a book that it's about Fallujah, the fighting in Fallujah, U.S. Marines and some army in Fallujah, and there was that. I mean, there's that type of combat where they are this isn't like out in well, I'm gonna say the jungle because that was type of combat there too. But this isn't Western Europe or some Eastern Europe where it's like a lot of open fields and you got a guy with a machine gun in a farmhouse and he covers the entire freaking area. And so you actually have to call in artillery to take out the farmhouse so you can actually advance. Here it was like you have squads of men going from literally through walls to get from building to building, clearing them, and they walk into a courtyard and boom, there's a machine gun, there's grenades getting dropped, or they get the jump on the insurgents and they'd be able to take them out. It just depends on kind of how prepared they were and where they were going. But very like so up close and like no, and it's literally some of these stories were hand to hand combat with these guys. Like modern warfare and hand to hand combat don't go hand in hand usually, but they did happen here in Fallujah. And it did happen. So anyway, although this one, as I criticized a little bit in my review, Boots on the Ground is they try to make it seem generic. They don't mention Iraq. They don't mention Fallujah. They don't mention anything like that. And it's like, okay, listen, this is what that was. This is the war on terror. And this isn't, and again, this isn't mountain fighting in Afghanistan. This is fighting in Iraq. Literally playing it, I'm like, this is Fallujah. So like, but I guess they could just call it Boots on the Ground. Regardless, this deluxe edition I think is really underrated for me. I think it's underrated, but my opinion.
This is mine. Long out of print, hard to get.
Ooh,
But
look at that old game,
yeah, hold the line. Frederick's War.
Frederick's
War.
War.
And I knew so little about this. And it's funny because they had if you buy this, you get Red Baron free. Ooh, free game or whatever. I ended
Yep.
up trading Red Baron. It wasn't that great. It looked pretty, but it wasn't a very good game. But Frederick's War, I got that. Sean Chick, who you probably might know him,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
Oh,
Gittiz or Gittes off of BGG,
yep.
big history guy. He had made it, and I knew so little about this. When I heard War of Austria and Secession, I go, what country did they secede from? Has nothing to do with that. It's succession in
Wait,
the royal line.
I'd be the
Wrong
same way. I'd be
spelling.
like, huh?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I knew nothing. I mean, well, Frederick the Great, isn't that Alexander's like nephew or something? And Peter's cousin. That whole family of the greats, they were pretty famous. Um, but yeah, the it's hold the line. But
Yep.
Sean added some really cool things. Like if your commander doesn't move, you get a save when you get a bonus action point next. If he doesn't do anything, he put cavalry charges and counter charges in there. And really, the one thing about it is Sean, very good idea guy. He just needs a developer.
Yeah.
Um, and this one, the system is kind of developed enough that it worked pretty well. The rules are a bit unclear. He's also a little fuzzy on his rules. My friend Rob, Galaxy Command, he had rewrote the rules. Basically,
Oh, nice.
Sean sent McGee to rewrite the rules. I don't know if it's in the file system. I've sent him, I've emailed them to people before, PDF of the rules. But anyways, if you want the game, you can't find it.
Yep.
Sean took the idea, which I thought Worthington kind of dropped the ball by not trying to stick with this a little more. But their choice. He took it to what's her name's company. You said they used to make good Hollenspiel.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, horse
Oh,
and
the
musket.
horse and
Horse and
musket,
musket.
horse and
He
musket
changed
series.
it to
Yeah.
D10. The
Yeah.
first game was on musket and pike. I played it. I mean, it had different issues. Like once you popped things out of the sprues, you never could close the box again. Um, but
Well,
it
they had
didn't
some
do
good
much.
ones, but they just
Yeah,
stopped.
it didn't do much for me. Yeah.
Worthington or Hollandspiel, sorry, they released like all these great war games and stuff, and now they're like just weird ass games. I don't know. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
they did so they did that musket and pike game, and I was like, this ain't really doing it for me. The D10s is kind of cool, and he made it lots more rules, which fiddly or detail, whatever you like, for nation specific. And I was like, this ain't doing it for me, so I sold it off,
yeah,
and I said, I'll get the game and then get it to Frederick.
yep,
Well, the next one was, I think, Frederick, but it was an expansion. And I was like, well, I'm kind of screwed because I'm not going to go out and buy that game again because it's like $90.
yeah. No, thank
So
you. Oh,
I never got into horse and musket because of that.
yeah,
But Frederick's War, yeah, my friend Tom that I play with a lot on Vassal, he's really wanting a copy. So I've managed to find him one out there, and so we'll probably be playing it pretty soon. But it's really good. Technically, if you're talking about gameplay, it's probably more fun than the American Revolution one
hmm.
by a little bit because there's more.
Yeah,
The cavalry charges are a blast,
yeah.
but hold the lines always have near and dear to me because American Revolution. But I did learn a lot about Frederick the Great in there.
Worthington cover has games on all sorts of conflicts. Clearly, if you've learned anything today, everyone watching, games on all kinds of conflicts, different types of systems. They don't mess around. They got solo games, like amazing solitaire games. Games that are two player but can be played solo, and then some games that are two player that are really designed for two player that aren't really solo friendly. But they're really fun publisher. A lot of great games. A couple stinkers here and there, but if you publish that many games, it's gonna happen. And one man's trash is another man's treasure. So you never know if just because I or Judd or somebody doesn't like something doesn't mean you're not going to either. So, um,
You know what else
no,
is cool about those guys?
session is not. Thanks.
Yes,
It's
that's
an
true.
accent issue. It
Woohoo!
happens, Mark. I know. Listen, but Mark Kerman, you may have it all. You may have it all dialed in, but some of us normal people sometimes we struggle with words or we struggle with something.
What's
Secession.
funny was to watch Greg and Bart and I try to pronounce French names from Napoleonics
Oh, you gotta love it. You
because
gotta love
I
it.
don't know. Um,
Yeah, watch my videos on random games that happen to be in somewhere in Europe or whatever. Or Vietnam or whatever, and suddenly people are like calling me out. I'm like, listen, I'm trying, okay,
yeah,
I do try, but yeah, it
yeah.
happens.
That's something cool Worthington's generally always done. Maybe it's necessity in the early days or whatever. They gave a lot of guys a shot.
Yeah,
Um, Daniel Berger, Hands in the Sea. He's
yeah,
designed those two games, but they gave him a shot with that. John Paniski.
Yeah.
Hearts and Minds, which to me that's always been my favorite Vietnam game. I mean, Compass did a bang up job. Your buddies there, they did a bang up job
Yeah.
on that one there. But but they gave him the shot, and
The solitaire bot was a disaster with that one, by the way.
yeah.
I
My
looked at
friend Rob,
production on that one.
Told him it was broken. He said I can
Yeah.
always beat this
Yeah. It
the
was a mess.
when I was the Viet Cong, but and he told him I can beat this thing here over and over and over, and here's how they can't react fast enough. Um, but um, but yeah, they gave there's just man tons of these guys. Well, Jim Crone he didn't. I think he shipped Space Empires to GMT and that because they already had Combat Commander and it was going to get published a lot faster with them. So I don't know if he's necessarily a new designer, but there's a bunch of these guys that was they gave him the shot, and I'm like that
Yeah.
was kind of cool. They took sometimes they hit it, sometimes they didn't, but I was like I always thought that was pretty cool.
Well, then all the States of Siege games they've been re-releasing over the years, or just deluxe editions. Like I said, I mean, them having that relationship with Herman Luttman to do that, in magnificent style, the deluxe edition here, right? To get
Yeah,
that one published, that is, you took a game that's already out, like who I don't know what's the draw going to be. It's already been released, and they re-released this deluxe edition, and now they're already on like the second or third printing. They just had come out in reprints. I think it's available again. For a while, it was out of print. I think it's available again, but. Um,
yeah. The one thing I was really bummed about was that when they started working with Chris Taylor, that they
Mark Kerwin, do you guys want to play Army of the Potomac Vassal game at printers? You hit up Judd on that there, Mark.
it's
I
on
don't play.
Vassal.
I don't really do Vassal. I don't know if
Yeah.
he well because the one coming out. There must be some. Mark, you go ahead and contact Judd off screen. I don't do. I don't. I've messed around Vassal solo a little bit, and then we gotta wrap this up. I gotta go here, but
Okay.
a little bit. But I don't play. Like I'm not gonna play with people against people with on Vassal or on anything like that. I don't have the time or energy, or I'm gonna stick to my tabletop gaming. 99.9% of my gaming is hands on this, touching it, playing it, and that's also why I hate, or I shouldn't say hate. I don't enjoy game books and book games and arts and crafts projects because to me, I want to play a game. I don't do arts and crafts. But anyway, I gotta go, everybody. Great show. Mark, send that to Judd. Don't send that to me. If you send it to me, I'll delete it. I'll send you a thumbs up back, but I'll still delete it. Send it to Judd. He'll dig into it. I'm sure he'd be glad to. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Great, we had a great turnout today. I could see a lot of people in the chat. A lot of people were watching us at our peak here. Judd, any final words? Worthington, thumbs up or thumbs down as a publisher?
Oh, I've always loved them.
Thumbs up. Big
They're
thumbs
my
up from
second
us.
next to GMT. They're the one I had the most of.
Yeah, I did until I got rid of freaking 90% of them for some reason.
Oh, and I was
When
going
it
to tell you,
was-
we mentioned it earlier. Was when I said the one bummer was that when they started working with Chris Taylor, that they did not do Astra
Oh,
Titanus. They should
yes.
never have started with
Yep.
Imperial Stars.
That was a video I spent a bunch of time on and only got like 400 views. That was one of the ones I did a whole AI write up for the intro,
Yeah.
and I had an AI voice doing this little thing, and I had a lot of fun with it. It got like 400 views. I'm like, what?
I
the
really
heck?
thought, man, I really thought if they would have done Astra Titanus, it would have been a hit for them.
Oh, if they did a deluxe edition of that, I'd be the first one to get it. So
You might
Mike,
have to fight me for first because I sold my copy when I heard
do it.
Worthington was getting it.
I love it. I love. Fine, I'll take number 2. All right, you got the history with it. Mike, Christoph, everybody, great seeing you guys. We gotta go. Wiley boys are great people, says Mark. I agree. Grant and Mike Wiley.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, gotta go. Bye.